Hello again, everyone. It's another week of collage, and without meaning to, I saw that I was headed for a rainbow type of palette, just using all the colors in the spectrum. And I think this is going to be, famous last words, I think this is going to be a short one. I've been anxious to get back to the studio and do a little bit of work. I feel like just doing a quick collage that just generates ideas. And if it turns into something awesome, if not, it's an exercise, and I don't mind a little bit of exercise. It could be a minimal, I'm not sure, but my focal points are two pieces, this hand and this gentleman right here. I also grabbed a golden cherry. So I have a few elements I'm playing around with. I'm also thinking about maybe grabbing some more ephemera from this Architectural Digest magazine, and also playing with a couple of backgrounds. This was from a gel print experiment I was doing because I'm kind of heading into the gel print world. We'll see what happens in the next couple of videos if I indeed do. And then there's this wonderful landscape, a burl landscape of some sort. I also have this vintage Life magazine, and I love this gold look, so I might be playing with backgrounds instead of doing something that's more of a flat palette that I normally do. I really love this frame, this design frame. I cut it from a frame, and I'd like to maybe play with it, but it doesn't have to be, just something to think about. So what I am going to do now is get back to cutting and get my focal point organized. The main ephemera for my focal point has been removed. So this little gem of a cherry, a golden cherry, looks like it's some type of jewel box. I can see the top. I can see where it's latched, where it separates. And I'm wondering if I should cut it and maybe have my guy sprouting out of it. You're probably figuring out where my thinking was going here. In this direction. I don't know. Well, I might be changing directions in a little bit. There was a lot of intricate cutting here to get this stem out, so I'm just still going to take a risk and cut. After all, it's just a magazine. I will take these little risks more and more now than I used to. Maybe have him coming out of this little cup, and then this showing that he is free, like a genie image. I'm feeling a genie type of theme going on with this piece, or maybe it's too much. Maybe I just want him standing on this guy's hands like this. I'd like to have his feet showing more. Yeah, that looks better. I like the cherry, but I think I'm going to put it off to the side for now. And he came from a wonderful backdrop, which was this, but not going to use it. Although I guess I probably could have done something like this after all my cutting now. But then there's not much contrast between the skin tone and the tile in the backdrop, so that's okay. I can create my own backdrop, right? And I was thinking about color. I'm feeling the rainbow imagery strongly here. So I'm not sure. It might be too garish. Because I love how the pattern of his outfit mimics this. So I really want to play that up. And I'm not sure. Well, I do like the rainbow. I kind of like the way that looks. And it's going to be a smaller piece. I like this also. Bring it down so you can see this these little watercolor palette looking gems. They can act as the top. Let's see, what do I have here? Oh, then these, it looks like, I don't think it's Marilyn Monroe. Definitely looks like it. And I don't know if, well, maybe something like that. And then I loved this stamp, though I don't think it's going to make a way into this piece because it really matches well with this border. And then a nice frosty beverage. But I don't see it working here. Maybe towards the arm. Maybe for the arm can be coming out of the beverage, but that's a lot going on. So I got to be careful of that. But I'll go ahead and cut it out and see how it looks. Of course, there's that big chunk of ice that's in the way. Let's do a little bit of cutting. Sometimes I don't cut all the way because it won't work or I feel like it won't work. Of course, there's my cherry. It's just not big enough, unfortunately. So let's see. Yeah, the arm coming out of the drink. It doesn't offer a lot of contrast, so put that off to the side. There's this. Okay. So I'm going into building now, and I'm in building mode. I have to decide if I want the borders with the rainbow. I think that would be interesting. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. Him standing, he has a nice backdrop now with the flag. And I can do something like this, just reconstructing everything. But that's what we do in collage. I'm going to clean it up. Obviously, I will tighten things up. Could even play with how the rainbow flag was at a slant, and I can come in like this. And, well, probably won't see the bottom portion here because of our hand, which will be like this. Kind of want the hand cupping the figure. So, I'd also grabbed these plates, and I thought they might look good as maybe something like that. So there's a containment going on with these borders. They're not awful, but now I'm thinking I don't know if I want to use them. I have these other ideas for background, and background can be very important. Well, background is important. It's always important, but sometimes background is part of the focal point. And that's what you always want to think about. Like I said, I have been veering towards very plain backgrounds, and I like my plain backgrounds. Ooh. This might be interesting here. Again, I want to kind of have him cupped. So this may be a good time to do some tucking, meaning I am going to cut these fingers so I can maybe tuck my other figure in there just to make it look like it belongs. careful here. There's a lot of detail, so I want to be cognizant of what's attached to what. Trim this so it's rounded a little bit more. And then I was going to have something like this, maybe. Yeah, because then it looks like he is truly cupping him, holding him. And I like doing this weaving. I'm doing battle with these backgrounds. Initially, I really loved this, but this is a leftover from one of my jelly print attempts. It was supposed to be the image I was going to transfer, and it's just acrylic paint on top of the image, so it's beautiful, but you can read the background somewhat. But it has like an ethereal feel to it, and it's also very dark. My ephemera for this piece is fairly light, and while I love the green background, the landscape, there's a lot going on, and I'm not sure if it'll work. I think it does to a point, but I like the dark background because I feel like the imagery pops out more. So I'm going to set this off to the side. I did prepare it by cutting it with a straight edge. And I also realized I was really stuck on having the hand going vertical with the body. That isn't really working, but what is working is when I twist it this way. I'm going to round this part of the hand out just a little bit, just to make it look a little more natural. Okay. And I found when I put the hand like this, it even has more of a Genie quality to it, and that's what I'm going for. In fact, I believe the name of this collage will be Genie, something along those lines. And it just fits better, and I feel things are more condensed. And for these smaller collages, definitely less is more. So it's something to bear in mind, and sometimes you have to take things out and just bring them in tighter, really invade space. I'm kind of hooked on this Marilyn Monroe, Andy Warhol lithograph thing. Although I don't think it's Marilyn Monroe, but that's besides the point. So I really want to use it, and I like how the blue background kind of mimics the blue on this color palette. Also, remember our golden cherry? So I think this will go well with that Genie theme, and I want to tuck this in here, make it look like he is standing in his bottle, so to speak, and rising out and looking at these colors. And I wanted to use these plates too. So sometimes it's a case of, I really want to use this ephemera, I'm going to find a way, but that means I have to take things back, pull things out, take things back, leave things as they were. So here is the top of that cherry, kind of letting him out, letting the Genie out of the bottle. And I really wanted to use this Netherlands stamp. I thought about here, or maybe here, because we do have a lot going on up here, but I feel it might need to be here. And how the eyes of the Marilyn models are kind of looking off in the same direction as our focal point. And we have, again, that color scheme going on. So that's why I wanted to do a very stable, solid background, even though it really isn't, because there is an image on the back here. And I'm even going to the point where, do I want to show the face of my other image? Here's his face. Do I want that as well? Do I want to tuck this in maybe here so we can see the faces? I don't know. It's a bit of a quandary, but I think we have our chosen ephemera. We pared back quite a bit, and I think it's ready just to be committed to paper. So let's go ahead and do that in time lapse. quick rundown before we say goodbye here. I went ahead and cut these circles to kind of fit my hand in it to generate a little bit more interest there, make it look like it belongs. And I stayed with the gold cherry and our genie coming out of it, so to speak. Kept our Marilyn Monroe and the color scheme. I think it works okay. I do like the background with the guitar player. You can barely see him, and it's just it's a little disjointed. If I was to be very critical of my own work, and sometimes I am, actually I am all the time, there's a lot of pieces here that look interesting. Do they fit together? Maybe not. I honestly may not consider this one of my more successful pieces, but I like finishing something. I like having it done, and I like posting it and showing it to you all. I went ahead and cut these circles so I could tuck my arm in and make it look like it belongs there. It does now. I did stay with my Netherlands stamp because we have a lot of faces going on. We have our Genie, our Marilyn Monroe, our stamp, and the image of the guitar player. I like that we were able to keep the guitar itself and the hand playing, so it does become part of the image. We were even able to keep our gold cherry to make it look like our genie is coming out of a bottle. All in all, I think it's a fun little collage. There's a lot of color going on. We got a really good solid background, so we are going to call it done. I thank you for joining me in this collage journey, and I will see you next time.